First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well, and a sincere salutation to all the Akim pushing this truth in sincerity by Shem Rokak Wadash. As you can see, the title of this article says Ducey Science Critical Race Theory Ban. Okay, and this is actually the governor of Arizona. It says the law signed by Ducey on Friday warns against using history to make any single ethnicity feel guilt or shame for past events. Okay, so this bill, it warns against using history, okay, in the classrooms, you know, in our children's classrooms, to make any single ethnicity feel guilt or shame for past events. So basically, Esau wants to cover up, okay, what they did. Okay, they don't want to feel guilt or shame for past events. Okay, but what does the scripture say? What do the scriptures say? The scripture says, shame shall cover thee. Right? Job 8:22, they that hate thee shall be clothed with shame, and the dwelling place of the wicked shall come to naught. Okay? Those that hate the Israelites, man, they're going to be clothed with shame. Okay? Starting with Esau, Edom, these other nations. Okay? Because they want to erase what they did, because they don't want to hear it. You know, that they don't want to hear that shameful spewing. They don't want to face the judgment. Okay, is he not a fugitive and a vagabond? Okay, when he was in his first, you know, when he incarnation, okay, as the serpent in the garden. Okay, it says, this is Psalms 109 and 29. Let mine adversaries be clothed with shame, and let them cover themselves with their own confusion as with the mantle. Okay, and they are clothed with shame, okay, because they're seeing how the Israelites are rising up, and they are the salt of the earth, you know, even those who are not in the truth, you know, because they see these videos going out. They see the camps, you know, YouTube is full of videos, so are social media. So the adversaries of the Israelites are clothed with shame, okay, and let them cover themselves with their own confusion as with the mantle. See, because they want to hide. So let them stay in their confusion, because the pride of their heart had deceived them. You see? Let's see. Let's go back. Let's read the article. That's all I really want to get on that. It says Arizona, USA. Governor Doug Ducey, or Ducey, signed a law Friday which he says will ban critical race theory from being taught in public schools. Okay, and I actually did a video on this, and even though it says sounds repetitive, you know, it's important that we you know, bring these things out. Okay, they want to erase what they did. Okay, what they did to the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. Okay, and mainly the Negroes, man. It says one local civil rights advocate criticized the law as vague and said it was an attempt to whitewash American history. Okay. As 12 News recently reported, parents around the valley voiced concerns at school board meetings about the prospect of new history lessons about the Black American experience drawn from critical race theory. No districts were considering change to the curriculum, but that did not stop protests. According to the educators, critical race theory is an academic movement that examines America's history through the lens of race and racism. Okay? Critical race theory is an academic movement that examines America's history through the lens of race and racism. And you must, okay, you must examine the history of America, okay, because it was founded on race and racism. Okay. How do you not inform the youth or not even that, but how do you erase 500 years of oppression, okay, from American history? You can't. Okay, America is synonymous with racism. It says it teaches concepts like white privilege, microaggressions, and institutionalized racism, all of which are concepts that many educators said help students understand the state of America today. And it's true. Okay, it's part of how America was built. Okay, racism, understanding it helps you understand how America really is, period. Critics argue that teachings draw unrealistic conclusions about present-day racism in America, and that the concepts may amount to discrimination against white people. You see, because they say that present-day, Edom will have you believe that present-day racism in America is gone. Okay, here it is. So-called blacks can, Latinos, Native Americans can sell out and get paid millions of dollars for bouncing the ball or singing or dancing or rapping. Okay. And so it no longer exists. All right. It says, and the concepts may amount to discrimination against white people. And they should be discriminated against, man. They should be held accountable. But the Lord's going to hold them accountable, whether they want to, stop teaching the truth about what really happened, because in a nutshell they want to stop teaching about racism, period. Okay, the penalty for schools that violate the new law is up to a $5,000 fine. It says the law signed by Ducey on Friday warns against using history to make any single ethnicity feel guilty or shame for past events. Okay, so this law that this governor here in Arizona signed, okay, is basically warns against using history to make any single ethnicity feel guilt or shame for past events. So they don't want no one to teach about racism here in America, okay, because they don't want a certain any certain ethnicity, meaning white people, basically, to feel guilty or shame for their doings. It says the law does not allow a state employee to engage in training that presents any form of blame or judgment on the basis of race, ethnicity, or sex. Right, because they're starting to, because they want to assimilate all nations together. Right. Okay, because ultimately this devil wants to subjugate every man, woman, and child. Okay, he wants to give them the MOTB. That's coming to try the whole world. Okay, because he wants basically to be the most high. It says or sex, because they're adding, this place is becoming Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay, and they're even adding a Z to that LGBT, whatever, the alphabet people. All right, Z for that the zoophobia, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. Those that like to get with animals. It says the law's wording does not mention the phrase critical race theory. However, it includes a ban against what some might it might interpret as white guilt. Teachings that an individual should feel discomfort or any other form of psychological distress because of the individual's race. Wow. But here it is. The country was built off the backs of the blacks, Latinos, and the Native Americans. How about how they felt psychologically? What about their distress? Okay. You see the bias. You see the how unjust this country is. This is very hypocritical. All right, of America. In a statement, Ducey defended the law by saying it is going a long way towards protecting Arizonans against divisive and regressive lessons. And the thing about it is that this if I'm not mistaken, Arizona is a Republican state. It's by here. It's down. It's Arizona's located in the southwest of America. It's by the border. There's a lot of racist Edomites out here. Okay, so that's really what he's speaking about. Bill's sponsor, Michelle Udall, a teacher herself, said we should be focused on bringing people together, not pushing people apart. And that's what they believe. They believe that racism no longer exists, that people have come a long way from how it was, and that we should forget about it, okay? And that and we should focus on bringing people together and not pushing people apart, okay? Now you'll want to come together, but they don't. Okay, that's hogwash. They don't want to come together. It says opponents criticize law for being vague. It says State Superintendent Kathy Hoffman criticized the law as amounting to vague bans on content. Hoffman also said in a statement that legislators should have focused efforts during the most recent session on the mental health and well-being of students. Phoenix area high school principal Kenneth Smith is part of an alliance of activists who met with Governor Ducey's staff during the legislative session. Smith said that the law ignores the concerns of members of minority communities. The governor just whitewashed Arizona education by saying, look, we don't want to hurt anyone's feelings because we don't want white people to feel hurt. Smith said, if we don't want feelings to hurt, then we should just close the book and throw it away and burn it. Smith also talked about the consequences of the law on education of the past. The fact of the matter is that this country was built on slavery. Period. You see that? Let me highlight the whole thing. It was built physically and politically on the backs of slaves. So the fact we cannot have that conversation, we cannot have it truthfully, shows people are more scared of the truth than perpetuating a lie, Smith said, and that's facts. That's facts. That's facts. What this dude said.
New tonight,
okay? The country was built on slavery, man.
They are
okay,
now
it was built on the backs of slaves, and if you don't want to have that conversation, then people are scared of the truth. Then being honest. Okay, they rather live by lies, teach lies. Well.
Big story tonight, critical race theory. The mere phrase sparks debate, even outrage across the country. Good evening, everyone. I'm Khadija Devine.
And I'm Mitch Carr, in for Mark Curtis. Governor Ducey has signed a law that he says will ban critical race theory teachings in public schools. As Team 12's Joe Dana shows, the law could prompt backlash among some educators.
Advocates of critical race theory argue America's history was largely written by the winners, white men who owned land. They want lesser-known events to be taught through the perspective of Black Americans and to link those events to how America is today. The law signed by Governor Ducey is a shot across the bow, warning teachers about using history to make any single ethnicity feel guilt or shame about past events. It has triggered tensions at Valley School Board meetings.
I don't understand why we are arguing and we're all saying the same thing.
Critical race theory examines America's history and present through the lens of race and racism. It teaches concepts like white privilege, microaggressions, and institutionalized racism. Concepts many educators say help students understand the state of America today, as one of the writers of the 1619 Project explains at a recent forum.
My essay looks at discrimination in our current healthcare system and traces it back to slavery.
Critics argue teaching these concepts amount to racism and can lead to discrimination against white people. Governor Ducey now siding with the critics, signing a law that does not allow a state employee to engage in training that presents any form of blame or judgment on the basis of race, ethnicity, or sex. The law's wording doesn't mention critical race theory. However, it includes a ban against what some might interpret as white guilt, teachings that an individual should feel discomfort or any other form of psychological distress because of the individual's race. I asked Phoenix Area High School Principal Kenneth Smith how the law will impact what's taught in schools next year.
Well, school boards have a lot to discuss now because the school boards have to make sure that they take this policy and now they aggregate that information about how they're going to apply this, because there is no real guidance. It is vague.
In a statement, Ducey defends the law as going a long way towards protecting Arizonans against divisive and regressive lessons. Smith, who is also an activist for civil rights, accuses Ducey of ignoring concerns of the black community.
And that's the governor just did. He whitewashed Arizona education by basically saying, look, we don't want to hurt anyone's feelings because we don't want white people to feel hurt.
The penalty for schools that violate the new law, up to a $5,000 fine. Smith could test that law very quickly.
As an educator, as a principal, I'm not going to say anything. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tell my teachers to continue to teach the way they need to teach these students, especially our black and brown students.
In Phoenix, Joe Dana, 12 News.
So you see these devils think they're gonna that the Most High forgot. They think that the Lord is just going to that he was one like unto them. Let's get that. This is Psalms 50. And 21, these things hast thou done, and I kept silence. Thou thoughtest that I was altogether such as one as thyself, but I will reprove thee and set them in order before thine eyes. You see? These things hast these Edomites done. Rape, robbery, murder, okay? And deceived the whole world. And now they want to erase any forms of slavery in the classroom. They don't want it to be taught. They don't want their nation to feel guilt or to feel ashamed. Or that they should, be discriminated. Okay, they did all these things, and the Lord kept silence, and they thought that the Most High was with them, and that He was altogether such as one as thyself. They deceived themselves into thinking that the Lord was actually an Edomite. But I will reprove thee, and He's being reproved. Okay, all his evil doings are coming out. Okay.
Strong's H 3198. Yachach.
It says to prove, decide, judge, rebuke, reprove, correct, be right. And the Lord is doing all this through the mouthpiece of the prophets. Okay. What does it say here? To convict. And they're being convicted. Okay, to be chastened, to argue. All these things are happening. But I will reprove thee and set them in order before thine eyes. And that's what the Heavenly Father is doing. He's setting the Israelites in order right before their eyes. And they can't stand it, because they ultimately are enemies and they hate the Israelites. They hate the true nation of the Most High. Okay, and they see the elect are rising up. But the Lord is, setting them in order as has stated. This is Psalms 10:11. He has said in his heart, the Most High hath forgotten. He hideth his face. He will never see it. Okay, and they think that, in their heart of hearts, they believe that the Most High has forgotten. He hid his face. He will never see. Okay, what they're doing. It says, arise, O Yahweh, O power, lift up thine hand, forget not the humble. And the Lord's not going to forget the humble. Okay. He's going to bring judgment. Wherefore doth the wicked contemn the Most High? He has said in his heart, thou wilt not require it. It says in the NLT, why do the wicked get away with despising the Most High? They think God will never call us to account. And that's not true. Okay. You can erase slavery out of the school books all you want. Okay. But really, the Most High hasn't forgotten. It says, thou hast seen it, for thou beholdest mischief and spite, and requite it with thine hand. You see, the Most High has seen it. He beholds the mischief and the things that they do out of spite. Okay, here it is. We're on YouTube waking up. So what does he want to do? He wants to erase it as we're writing it down, so to speak. He wants to come back with an eraser and erase what we're doing. He wants to cover up his tracks, but he's not going to be able to. It says, to requite it with thine hand. The poor committeth himself unto thee. Thou art the helper of the fatherless. Break thou the arm of the wicked. And when you go into this word arm, look at what it says right here. Check this out.
Strong's H2220. Zero'ah. Zero'ah.
Arm, forearm, shoulder, strength. Arm, symbol of strength. Forces, political and military. You see that? All right. And what are they doing? They're passing laws to ban, okay, teaching basically the truth about the racism and the slavery that America was built upon. Okay. So it says, break thou the arm of the wicked and the evil man. Seek out his wickedness till thou find none. You see? And the Lord's making an inquisition. He's making an investigation. He's seeking out all the wickedness, and he's going to bring this man, okay, to pay for his crimes, okay, till thou find none. Right. So the Lord's discovering everything. Everything's being discovered. Brothers are, through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yashai, are going into all different things that they have done and expounding on it, okay, and bringing it out through the scriptures, okay. The Lord Yahweh is king forever and ever. The heathen are perished out of his land. Yahweh Hashem Yahshai, thou hast heard the desire of the humble, thou will prepare their heart, thou will cause thine ear to hear, to judge the fatherless and the oppressed. The man of the earth may no more oppress. You see, the Lord's going to judge the fatherless. Okay, those that you haven't heard the word. Okay, those who are without elders and leaders and fathers, okay, because the fathers used to teach the truth to, you know. Yeah, man. The man of the earth may oppress no more, and he's not going to oppress no more. You see? This is Psalms 94:7. Yet they say, Yahweh shall not see, neither shall the power of Jacob regard it. Okay? They think the Lord's not going to requite it, man. He's not going to regard it. Okay? Bayan. That's the name of the brother in the
Strong's H995. Bean. Bean.
Right. Right. To show oneself discerning or attentive, consider diligently. You see, they think the Lord's not going to consider diligently what they've done. To perceive, discern, to understand, consider. You see? Understand ye brutish among the people, and ye fools, when ye will be wise. He that planted the ear shall he not hear? He that formed the eye shall he not see? Right. So the Lord made the wicked for the day of evil. Okay. He made the ear. Does he not hear? He formed the eye, shall he not see? He chastised the heathen, shall not he correct? He teacheth man knowledge, shall not he know? Okay, here it is. The Lord, set up the heathen as well, gave them power on the left-hand side. The wicked, these Edomites, to do what they do. Shall not he correct them? He teaches man knowledge, shall not he know? And they're forever trying to pass us more intelligent. They're trying to pass us the Most High and their laws, man, their righteous decrees, okay, flow rampant through the earth, and they think they're just going to get away with these things. They think they're just gonna destroy, through their policy and through peace, and their unrighteous decrees, and they think the Most High does not know. Okay. Yahweh, Bashem Yashai, know that the thoughts of men are vain. Blessed is the man whom thou chastenest, O Yahweh, and teachest him out of thy law. Okay. That thou mayest give him rest from the days of adversity until the pit be digged for the wicked, right? Because the wicked are going to be arrested. Okay. That's the prophecy, starting with these elites. They're going to be arrested. The so-called Illuminati. And they're going to be put in a pit. And they know this. For Yahweh will not cast off his people, neither will he forsake his inheritance. But judgment shall return unto righteousness, and all the upright in heart shall follow it. It says judgment will again be founded on righteousness, and the upright in heart will follow it, right? Okay. It says, who will rise up for me against the evildoers? Who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity? And that's true. That's true, man. Who will rise up against the evildoers? Who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity? And that's the elect. They've been put in a position to stand up, okay, to be valiant for the truth. Okay. So I just wanted to bring this out, shed some light on what they're doing. This is the governor Ducey from Arizona, okay, signing a ban on basically the truth about slavery being taught in schools. Ultimately they want to erase what they have done, but the scriptures say there's no rest for the wicked. And the Lord that formed the ear and the eyes, he has seen it. He will requite it, He will give a recompense. There will be a judgment, okay, for what they have done. They cannot erase, okay, the fate. They cannot erase prophecy. Okay, so Lord willing, this was edifying. I want to say Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shai, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shai, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shai.